Leo, and welcome to your March 2019 general tarot reading. So yes, you're my last fixed sign reading. All the fixed signs, a lot of change going on. Okay, Uranus going into Taurus is squaring all the fixed signs, by the way. A square means there's something that needs energy in to be applied to in order to resolve. Okay, it can be a hugely restrictive energy, a square, or it can be an amazingly transformative one, depending on how you approach it, just like anything. So your additional guidance card is Yang, yeah? Some sort of action, because we need to apply action to resolve a square. I'm a fixed sign, guys. I've got it going on. My world's about to turn upside down, and most of the fixed signs have got that change going on. It all depends on the degree that your sun's in, okay? So nothing to be worried about, but if you feel there's a block and there's a frustration, it means you need to apply energy into resolving something, which is what the Yang card means. It's applied focus. Nothing changes unless we apply our energy to it. So the first thing I'm going to ask Leo is what wants to be left behind as we go from February to March. Yes, Knight of Pentacles. I'm sorry, I'm sort of laughing here. And the Three of Wands, yeah. This wants to left be. The Three of Wands is waiting for your ships to come in, yeah? Desiring expansion but not moving. And the Knight of Pentacles is a very, very slow moving knight. So some of you are trying to leave behind this feeling of, oh my gosh, I'm stuck in this repetitive wheel, nothing's moving. I need to apply my energy. So what you most want is the Six of Wands. A victory, energy, application of your will in order to overcome whatever's been holding you back. The gift is the Two of Cups, not a bad gift at all. The challenge is the Ace of Wands, okay? Yeah. So some of you, your energy might be quite low. In gathering this energy in order to initiate this new life path might be a little bit of a challenge, okay? There's multiple reasons why our energy gets low, okay? So we don't judge, we just go, okay. Ten of Swords in your relationship house. Never worry about the Ten of Swords. I love the Ten of Swords. It means the dark night is over, and a new pattern wants to emerge, something wants to be born. And it's that sort of, there's a poem, isn't it? Anas Nin, that I would rather take a risk, I can't remember the exact words, and be open and go forward than to remain in a tight place. Yeah? There's definitely a yes required here from you, Leo. The Death card in money and work. So obviously there's some changes happening here. I'll clarify it. Nine of Swords in a soul position. Eight of Cups here. Then the Ace of Swords. So I end in a major or an ace. So there's definitely changes. I would say specifically around money and work. Okay? And this change is causing a little bit of anxiety. Be careful, Leo. I know anxiety is something we find it really hard to find control over, but it drains your ability to act. I'm going to talk about this quite a lot, actually, because what behind you is this constant state of waiting is what wants to be left behind. The Six of Wands is what you most want, is a significant victory. And it's overcoming something and going, I did it. Now, who's helping you get that is the Two of Swords, which is the card of relationships. Doesn't have to be sexual. It can be a work colleague, someone who just lends a hand in your life so you can get to the significant victory you're looking for. Now, the Ace of Wands is your challenge. And the Nine of Swords in a soul position is why the Ace of Wands is a challenge, and vice versa. As we move forward in our lives, okay, to propel new life paths, we automatically meet the energy of fear. Everyone has it, Leo. And the energy of fear is that part of our minds that tells us to keep ourselves safe, okay? Now, we can't help it. It's part of our brain. So the part that says keep ourselves safe is no matter how much of a box we live in, at least it's a box that we know, that's predictable. It's almost that comment, you know, better the devil that we know is a Nine of Swords. So that is why propelling this new life direction and why you've got the energy of fear in a soul position. Because the Moon card is there, and the Moon represents our habits, what we know. It's about our sense of safety and security. And when we want to go forward and birth new life paths, the first thing we meet is the Moon. And it's all, what if this happens? What if this happens? So we play it forward and we move into the energy of anxiety. And it tells us to keep safe and don't rock the boat. Keep small. I'm not judging it, by the way. But it's very, very clear what's going on here. Now, the Ten of Swords is showing up in your relationship house. I love the Ten of Swords because it's the end of a dark night. The Ten of Swords is the way out of the Nine of Swords. And the Ten of Swords is no longer being controlled by fear, but taking risks to go down new pathways. And it's going, well, I'm not sure how this pathway is going to end up, but no matter what happens, I'll be okay. I'll be secure. I'll be fine. That is what the Ten of Swords is, and that's how you get out of the Nine of Swords. So clarify the Ten of Swords. Yeah, look. Ten of Cups. It's the rainbow after the storm. But first of all, Leo, there needs to be a moving away from your comfort zone. Because the Moon represents our comfort zone. And generally when we feel our lives became stale and stagnant, it's because we're consistently living in a state of comfort zone and not propelling our life forward into new territory. And it's a short-term solution, but in the long term it can have really devastating effects to our soul, because the soul thrives on the unknown. The soul thrives on the spirit of fire. Because Leo rules the heart, the soul's purpose. And for you not to be in your energy is devastating, okay? It happens. No one shines all the time. But what's keeping you there is too much focused on the known and not enough willingness to jump over that cliff. Look what awaits you, the Ten of Cups over that cliff, which is the end of a dark night and the rainbow, which is not a cliche, guys. It's a fact, because the tarot cards represent facts, okay? Wow, oh my gosh, everyone's readings in March. Death card and money and work, okay? So some people are letting go of something. They're letting go of an old job, or they're birthing something new. Give me another card for the death card, yeah, Wheel of Fortune. That's the ending of a cycle, so a new one can begin. And Leo, you're moving on to a better cycle. But what's going to be happening is your sense of consistency. The moon is going to be, no one likes their moon being disturbed, by the way. But accepting uncertainty is accepting a full dynamic life. Because the Nine of Swords in a soul position is talking about fear of the changes that are going on here. Can you give me another card for Leo to represent what's going on in their soul? Because look, she's restricting her heart. You rule the heart, which means you're restricting the Leo principle, which is to give sun, to give warmth, to experience all possibilities. Oh boy, Leo. Okay, outcome, Eight of Cups, yeah, same as the Death card, and then the Ace of Swords. So the Eight of Cups is just the quest for deeper meaning, yeah. It's a desire to expand beyond the horizons. It's a desire to expand beyond the world that you've created for yourself. And we create, listen, I'm not saying safety and security is a negative. Trust me, I'm really not. But we must be always willing to expand ourselves to meet the desires of what we truly, truly are and truly want. And there's an issue about doing this for you. It's not going to last because look, the Ace of Swords is the outcome, which is clear vision, clear decision making, clear. The Ace of Swords cuts through stuff. You know, like King Arthur, who claims the sword and he goes forward into claiming his destiny and fighting for what he wants, because I want you to use that sword to cut through. It's okay at times for Leo to move out of our comfort zone and to take risks. I'm not saying it's easy, but the way out the 9 is that 10 of Swords. And it's to say, I would rather, you know, rather than staying in this world, it's too small for me. I'd rather meet dinosaurs and lions and out in that world than to keep myself in a small constricted space. It's going to be the theme for everyone for the next 7 years, by the way, with Uranus going into Taurus. Because Taurus represents the earth, the bull, I will not move. And Uranus is a Tower card. Everyone's world is going to be transformed if we allow it, because you can say no and you can stay there if you want to, Leo. I don't think you want to, by the way. And I would say, do we really have an opportunity? Do we really? Yeah, I mean, we do. We can delay it. But when we delay it, we tend to get quite ill, by the way. And sore backs, sore knees, what I've got going on. Because we're delaying the evolutionary trajectory of the way that the universe wants our life to go. We all do it. Every single one of us, by the way. I feel like getting a card for you as an addition. Give me an additional message, please, for Leo. Yeah, say no more, King of Wands. He's got that ace and it's in his hand and he's got his throne because he's master of the life force. And always, when we go forward to propel our life forward, we always meet fear. But you don't have to stay there. It's about building a relationship and beginning to understand it and moving forward anyhow, because the King of Wands has mastered his life force, guys. He's the king. Psh, fire walking, breaking through limitations, breaking through the too small world that you've set yourself for, you brave, beautiful lions. Roaring and breaking out. Come on, go for it. Anyhow, I'm back next week, Leo. I'm going to do relationship readings next week. Haven't done them for ages. And I feel I need to catch up with what's going on for signs. So if you want a private reading with me, my email's in the about section. Loads of love, Leo. Bye.